Nikki. I'm here today with a flip through of my Boho journals that I have been kind of working on in the background. I haven't been filming as much lately because my allergies have just been like crazy out of control. So I worked on these a lot, mostly in the background, not on camera, but it seems like maybe they're coming into control a little more, my allergies. I don't know. You never can tell. New environment where we live. So anyway, that's another story for another time. Today, let's flip through these. So I have 3 journals. I have one big hardcover one and 2 smaller softcover single signature journals. And they are all part of kind of an ongoing design team project for Tracie Fox using some of her new collage papers. So these ones, these journals use my Boho kit. So my Boho kit, Boho Bliss, which you can find in my Etsy shop, which is listed below. But they also use Tracie's kits, her Relics kits, which I'll point out in here. And then I've also used her Flutterby Ephemera because they are like butterfly boho journals. There's lots of butterflies through here. So I've used a lot of her butterflies. Her fussy cut butterflies are all through this. And her Flutterby kit is actually featured in this one specifically, or more specifically. And the ephemera from those, the little butterfly cards and stuff, are kind of sprinkled throughout here, as well as her butterfly ephemera folder kit. So all of the kits that I've used, the main ones, because I always use like lots of little bits and pieces, but the main kits that I've used from Tracie will be linked below. And let's just take a look. Let's start with the smallest single signature one. So this, they have, all of them have a little bit of this dangle, and this is from a scarf that I, there were some dangly pieces of this trim that I cut off, so they kind of hang. Can you see that? They hang off, long dangly pieces. So they kind of just dangle around, which I love. It's kind of like an attached tassel. And then they all have a charm. This, if you saw my last video where I went through my box of garbage from my friends, this is part of a bracelet. And so these 2 journals have one of those that I took apart and I made into charms. They are all covered with this really yummy upholstery. The smaller 2 are covered with this one, and the bigger one's covered with a different kind, but it's this really nice upholstery fabric, so it has a great hand feel. And then the tie is only attached just by being attached underneath this piece of trim. So it is attached, but that's its attachment point. The 2 smaller journals, I believe, have 80 pages in them. And so let's just take a look. In the inside here, all of them have a piece of my Gelli printed paper that I made. So they have an original piece. I just love the feel of it. And there are pieces of that throughout the books as well. But you can also get those in my shop now. I have some packs of Gelli printed papers that you can use for backgrounds or collage or anything. They're kind of fun. So then this is part of my Boho kit here. And I've just done lots of stitching. Here are butterflies, there's like lots of fussy cut butterflies. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I've also backed all of the papers from my kit with one of Tracie's kits, and those will all be listed below. I did a little stamping, and this is from my kit. This is Tracie. So like I said, this one has her Flutterby kit in it, which I just thought went really great with this look, the butterflies and the boho kind of feel. I just really liked it. So this is her Flutterby kit. This is some of that original paper, Gelli printed paper, and there are, like I said, lots of butterflies, lots of sewing. Here's a piece of vellum with some sewing and tabs, sari silk all around, some stained papers, more fussy cuts, labels, little half sheets. That's from my kit. This is a big envelope flip. So these are both Tracie's papers here. And this has a big tag that pulls out, and that's from my kit. The thing that I love about a lot. Oh, and then there's also some medallions and things that have been touched with a little bit of gold and bronze paint. You may or may not be able to catch the shimmer from the camera or not, but in person it's great. It makes it just kind of pop. So that's from my kit, and then here's some stamping of some just little mandala stamps. The thing I was saying about Tracie's kits that I just love is how well they go together with other kits. All of her kits go together super well, but a lot of times you can interplay them with other kits and it works really well. These are some really old pages from a Shakespeare book. Big giant anthology of it that I have. That's mine. And then this is Tracie's on the back. These are from my kit, and then this is some more of that Gelli printed paper. So it has such a great feel to it. There's some seam binding, part of my kit, and then it's backed with Tracie's kit. And then these, you'll see this in a couple of them. I love doing this, and I haven't done it for a while, but it's a great way to like make a page look like it's got stuff, you know, on it. But it's also applicable, or applicable. It's useful because you can fold them up and journal. You can do hidden journaling on the back of these, and then you just fold them back down, and now you've got this cool look of like the script, you know, you're writing behind, and this overlay. I like the way that looks, and I liked the way that the tone matched. There's some of this gold shimmery gold ribbon in here too. More fussy cuts, more Gelli print. This one has, so I also have a file folders kit for my boho, so that's this. And then in one of my recent videos, we went through and did some embossing and some spraying. So these have all been sprayed. The backs of the file folders, or the insides technically, have been sprayed with some inks and stuff. Some more, this is more of Tracie's kit, that Flutterby kit. This one goes with lots of different themes. If you want to add butterflies into your kit, it's a great way to do it. And then these stamps here came from the Foxy rag, and we embossed them with some clear embossing in one of my recent videos. But they, I made little clusters out of them with some fabric and paper, and they fit perfect with this theme as well. I apologize, my window is open. It's beautiful outside today, but it's also busy Tuesday afternoon traffic. This is from my kit. This is one of the coffee filters that I made and then put beeswax on. So we sprayed it and then put beeswax on it, and it has such a great feel. This book is about texture as much as it like visual texture and stuff. So this is one of my pockets, and then this is part of Tracie's Flutterby Ephemera. You get some of these really great little butterfly cards like this. And, oh, come on. There we go. And then this is a big removable pocket, so you could remove it and put it anywhere you wanted to. And inside here I have put tabs on a couple more of her pieces of Flutterby Ephemera, and they just go down into this pocket. And you could move it wherever you want to in the journal. And then I put one of my patinaed, I made a bunch of patinaed paper clips that have like that copper patina on them. They look really cool. Oh, in the center I've got some beads just that dangle below the book, some sparklies. Then here's the other side of that coffee filter. Some lined papers, more of the Flutterby Ephemera. It looks great with this piece of sari silk. I loved that. This is a big flip out. And I can't remember if I did these on camera or not. I intended to, but I was just, you know, like I said, not feeling the greatest. So it's a big flip out, and there's another giant tag from, that's from my boho kit in there. But the papers on this are her Relic collage papers, and they match so well with this boho kit as well. And then this little pocket, I forget what these are called. I can never get this right, can I, guys? It's got little pieces of ephemera and tickets and things. These are all from Tracie's different kits. But this little pocket with the little, oh my gosh. Anyway, I deconstructed her butterfly ephemera kit, ephemera holder kit, and that's what this is. So you can actually cut it apart rather than folding it up to make it into an ephemera folder. You can cut the individual pages apart, and then you've got a bunch of these little leveled pockets to stick stuff in. This is part of her Relics kit, so that's the flap that's holding this on. And then this is some of my Gelli printing. Here's another page where we've got the flippy out thing going on with some of her Flutterby Ephemera. That's from my kit, and more Gelli print. Then on the back side of that, I've got a big belly band that I made with some ribbon and sari silk, and a butterfly that's got some paint on it to make it kind of shimmer. Can't catch the light. And some fancy stitching. And then it's got one of it's got the large size file folder in there. And then more of that Tracie's Flutterby kit. More Shakespeare. Some gorgeous sari silk with gold and thread all in it. It's lovely. Whoops. Mandalas. More Flutterby. Here's a cluster with another one of her fussy cut butterflies. Little half pages. More sari silk. This is another piece of vellum with some sewing and a tab on the bottom here, a layered up tab. More of her fussy cut butterflies, and another small piece of the peeled paint. You can get this one in my peeled paint Gelli prints kit. More Flutterby Ephemera. So just kind of really an eclectic boho feel to this book. To all of these books, really. And then in the back, you've got my maker's mark and this wonderful Gelli printed richness and the last page of my kit. So that's the first one. And we'll call this one the Flutterby Boho book. So in case you're trying to figure out if you're interested, this one will be called Flutterby. Then this one has the same feel on the outside. It's that same upholstery, that lovely upholstery, and it's got just a sheen to it when you catch the light with it. It's just gorgeous. Then it's got that same fun flippy flappy trim, tassely trim, and another one of those little dangles. And its tie, like the other one, is just attached underneath there. And then this one definitely has more, like it's got a lot more of this, you know, fuzzy, fluffy stuff on the edges of everything. So let's flip through this one. This one has, again, it's lined with some of my handmade Gelli print paper. And then right away in the front has a flip out. So this is my kit and this is Tracie's kit, and they play together so well. So this is a big flip out that has a large tag in the top. And then it has a second pocket right here. So these are all her Relics kit, Relics collage, and there are a couple of little butterflies here. And then there's some of this, this is all like upholstery trim, but it you know, goes with upholstery fabric on the cover. So this one is some little sagey green tassels. Then this is backed with Tracie's paper. And then this is a nice layered up little flap right here. Again, the butterflies come from the Foxy Rag. And this is the flap of an envelope we'll see in a minute. And then there's just some layered up papers here and ribbons and trims and stuff. And that flips over and you've got some, these are some of my rip strip butterflies. If you're interested in those are in my shop. This is some of Tracie's Fussy Cut Florals. So this book doesn't have her Flutterby in it. It has Fussy Cut Florals, though you'll see some of those. This is some yummy crunchy paper. Then this is a tag that I made using her Relics kit. And I used the Junk Journal Inspirations freebie tag kits to make that matted tags from June. More stamped papers. Bunch of clusters. This is some really grungy coffee stained paper that I made a while back. And it's got a big chunk of this lush yellow upholstery, like almost like upholstery trim tassels on there. Here's another one of those little layered pockets that I cannot remember the name of, but it's got a bunch of little tags and pieces of ephemera in there, and it's attached to this little piece of jelly printed paper. More stamping, mandalas, Shakespeare papers. Then these are a couple of pockets that I made here. This is Tracie's Relics paper. So is this on this large tag. Her Fussy cut butterflies and her Flutterby Ephemera. So there are a couple of little pockets, and it makes a tab on the edge here. Here's more of that fold out journal and fold back in kind of stuff. This has some actual jelly printed paper too. I just love the feeling of this. More of her Fussy cut florals. This is a butterfly from the Foxy Rag, and inside is one of her Fussy cut, or I mean her Flutterby Ephemera. And this has a little magnet in it, so it'll stay shut. And behind it is another one of the Flutterby Ephemera. Some lined paper with some cool looking trim. I forgot where I got that, but it's cool. I made a couple of really big clusters in here. So they're just layers of sari silk with some of her Fussy cut butterflies sewn on there. And it's just stunning, this blue with the blue butterfly. And then I had some of this leftover boho trim that I got in a sari silk packet a while back. And so it's silver and gold, and I thought it just kind of goes with this rich, you know, theme that we're doing here. More clustering. And then here's another one of those removable pockets, and it has a large tag in it. But that is held on with an altered paper clip that has some of that shimmery metallic paint on it too. So that's kind of cool. Another one of Tracie's Floral Fussy cuts and some more of that shiny shimmery gold ribbon. More Fussy cut butterfly clusters here. These are also from the Foxy Rag, so they're little frames, and I thought it looked kind of cute, like they'd been taped onto the page. They're actually glued down. They don't flap out or anything like that, but they've been put on with washi tape, and it would be a fun, I think it'd be a unique way to journal quotes or memories or whatever, or just continuous journaling. This is some more of my jelly print. These are the original jelly prints, but you can find, like I said, the copies of this. Here's more of the back side of that one. You can find the copies of that in my shop. These are peeled paint. Another one of those beautiful butterfly stamps from the Foxy Rag, made into a cluster. And then I've got a little piece of this upholstery tassel dangle stuff with these little balls on the bottom. It's so cute, and it went perfectly with this color scheme. More big fluffy sari silk, and then some more of those little frames. Those are from the Foxy Rag as well. I'll link that Foxy Rag down there too. If you guys haven't ever checked it out, you definitely should. It's a great value. You get the magazine, more of her Fussy cut florals. You get the magazine, but you also get a bunch of, so you get to read articles, interesting articles about other crafters and things, but you also get a bunch of digitals in every episode. Why do I keep calling them episodes? In every issue, you get a bunch of digitals that you can use. And so I did a video recently using a bunch of those from the recent June issue, which, by the way, I'm one of the artists in there, which is kind of fun. You can go read my article. There is some more of that, the other piece of that cool embroidered, no, it's not even embroidered, it's like knotted kind of sari trim. Here is another big cluster. This is a big flip up. So it's covered in Tracie's Relics paper. And then it's got another one of the little layered pockets in there with a bunch of her ephemera. So when you buy this ephemera kit, when you buy this ephemera holder kit, you also get a bunch of little pieces of ephemera. that you can fussy cut out and put into the ephemera holder. So it's a great little kit. Yep, and it comes with a set of these little butterfly tags. There's also a grungy ledger one too, but I use the butterfly one because, you know, butterflies. So then on the back, it's covered with one of my Gelli print prints. So this is one of the printed ones. And then there is a piece of paper that you can write on in there that's got one of her fussy cut florals. Not florals, that's clearly not a floral, it's a butterfly. So that slides back up in there. You can put other stuff up in there too. So that flips down. Then we've got a butterfly that I did some little fancy stitching on him. And another one, I love this one. I don't know what it is about that one, I just love it. More of her fussy cut florals, and then more of those flip out pages for journaling under. Here's another big pocket with a big tag in. More Shakespeare, just some sewn on sari silk here. Some more mandala stamping. Then this is a little belly band with another one of the file folders that I sprayed, and this has got the paint, metallic paint around the edges too, just to kind of set it off. And in the middle of this belly band, there is another one of those stamps. So you get a full sheet of them. And then there's more of this little dangly trim on the edge of this page here as kind of like a tassel. More fussy cut. And then more of this wonderful yellow tassel trim stuff. The other side of that crunchy paper and another fussy cut floral. More of that gorgeous like lurex blingy stuff. And then here is another big fussy cut floral. And this is actually a giant envelope. So this was the flap of the envelope that was in there before. And in here, I just have tucked, these also came out of the Foxy rag. So it's just a big journal card. And there was a page that had two of these larger cards on it. So I thought, okay, they'll print those out and I'll put them in the envelopes. And it's been, this one is an original Gelli print as well. There's the peacock that comes in my kit. And then a shiny gold paper, embossed paper pocket here with some trim and sari and butterflies. This, I believe, is a Tim Holtz butterfly card. And then this is another piece of that Relic paper that I've just folded over and made a little a little tuck, journal tuck. And that's the back of this one. So Gelli print original and part of my kit. So that is number 2. And like I said, I believe both of these smaller ones have 80 pages. I think. So if we're calling that first one Flutterby, we'll call this one, let's see, we'll call this one Floral Boho or something like that. It'll say something about floral. Then we've got the 3 signature larger hardcover book. And this one is covered with upholstery fabric as well. It's just a different piece, so it has a different like look to it. And then I took a piece of the scarf. So now you can kind of see the whole scarf, right? It's the scarf and then it has this trim on both sides of it. It was one of those skinny scarves. So I applied it as like my book edge here. So then all of this just kind of dangles around, which is kind of fun. And when you hold it up this way, it dangles off the bottom. It looks really cool. So this one I believe is like 6. I lost my notes, you guys. I made myself notes. Let's see if I can find them really quick. This one, oh, here we go. 9.5 by 6, and it has 152 pages. This one has, the closure is just a couple of little eyelets with the seam binding through it. And the seam binding that I found that like almost perfectly matches the scarf. Kismet. On the edge here, it's got, you can see, we're going to get through this thing. It's got a whole bunch of fun, colorful, I just love the colors in this. These colors just make me happy. And it's got some little dangles and things that we'll see as we go through it too. Essentially the same kits in this one as the last one. The binding is a little bit stiff because this is so thick, but that means that it will last the test of time for sure. It's just stiff. The more you use it, it'll loosen up. Right in the front, I have one of those belly bands, and then I have one of the large Boho Bliss folders from my kit. And then we'll just start. Like I said before, all of my Boho pages are backed with Tracie's kit. And I keep wanting to say compendium, but that's wrong. It'll be listed below. I'll have it listed below. I can, for the life of me, can't remember. Here's another one of those collaged little envelopes. So this is the flap of the envelope, and I've sewn on a bunch of papers and different stuff on there. So the same basic elements in here, some stamped papers, lots of sari silks just sewn on in little bits. Here's vellum with tabs and sewing up and down the side. Here's our first little charm on one of those patinaed paper clips, and it's got a little owl on it. I made some long, tall, kind of skinny clusters that you'll see throughout the book. This is some of my original Gelli print as well. And then two little envelopes here, and they open up and have little journaling cards in them, which, there we go. So they have little journal cards in there. And then this is some of my Gelli print as well. More of that Shakespeare page. More clusters, lined paper with that trim, another one of those long clusters. This is some of my original Gelli print, and it has metallic in it, so it's got this gorgeous shimmer to it, which you can just barely kind of pick up on camera. But in person, it's just like, especially in the sunlight, man, it just kind of shines and shimmers. It's so pretty. This is some embossed paper, and this is some of my Gelli print. And then it's got one of the file folders in this pocket. And this is a tag, one of the tags from the kit that I backed with some of my Gelli print paper. This is all Gelli print. And then this is an altered paper clip holding it on here. And this flips open. And this is part of a coffee filter that I also had sprayed and put beeswax on, and it becomes a flip pocket here, like so. And it's got a tall tag that I made out of some of my Gelli print printed papers. So the digital ones. That goes in there. This, I believe, is from the Graphics Fairy. It was in my stash. This is a vintage envelope and some of Tracie's fussy cut butterflies. This is more of that super shimmery paper. And a tag that I've backed. And one of Tracie's. So in that ephemera folder kit, you get a bunch of these too. So if you cut it apart, you get a bunch of these little journal cards, and they're perfect for making tucks and pockets and journaling cards and stuff. Some more clusters. This is from my kit. Here's another altered paper clip holding on. Oh, there's nothing in this pocket. I'll have to put something in this pocket. But that one is a movable pocket. And in the video where we sprayed and embossed, I also embossed just these, there you can kind of see, just the butterflies on the front of that to kind of set them off. Some more of that gorgeous Lyrics, like the gold sari. This is a big pocket that I made using her Relics kit. And then these, this is Flutterby Ephemera, and that's from the Butterfly Ephemera kit. And then on camera, I believe, I altered some card catalogs with, we just collaged them up using some of that Relics paper as well, the Relics collage paper. It does so great because it makes it look like you've got a bunch of stuff collaged, but you really, it's thin because it's all, she's all done it for you. And then there's one of her big fussy cut butterflies. more of the jelly printed paper. There's a little butterfly charm on this tab here. More stamping, sari silk. This is the other side of that envelope, so it too has a giant, one of those giant cards from the Foxy rag that I cut out and put inside of the pocket. It's a big envelope, so there's room for lots of stuff. And the envelope is jelly printed. And then there are a couple of tags here that I made with my rip strip butterflies on there. More of those gorgeous butterfly stamps from Tracie's Foxy Rag magazine. That's the first signature. This I got in Happy Meal a long time ago, and I want to say it's from Sammy Gerard, maybe. But it found a home here. It was perfect for this. Some backed tags that I made. This is jelly print here. This is jelly print original. And then these are some pockets that I made with some really cool sari silk yarn. So it's like shredded sari silk and then twisted into a yarn. And then each one of these pockets has a little mini file folder. So those are from my file folders kit. So you get a sheet of large ones, medium ones, small ones, and then extra small or minis. So each one of those has a mini. So you could open it up and tuck a little sentiment in there and close it back up. Fussy cut butterflies that have all, a lot of those have been gilded with like metallic paint around the edges. A couple more little tags with my butterfly rip strips and another one of her stamps, and that's on a page of Shakespeare. This is another one of those big flip ups. It has the same thing on the inside, the same piece of paper, and on the front I used one of her Flutterbys and made a little butterfly top tag. And this is her Relics paper, and this is all covered in the Relics paper as well. And this matted tag is from that template to make this butterfly tag is in the Junk Journal Inspirations June freebie templates. This is original peeled paint jelly print right here. Another little butterfly cluster. More clusters. This one has little beads charm hanging off of it, some little clean. These came off of one of the bracelets that I deconstructed from my box that I went through recently. There's nothing in the center of these signatures, no bead dangles or anything. This is another one of those big flip pockets. And inside here, I just have one of my giant tags that I've sewn some journaling lines onto. And this is made out of entirely a big sheet of her Relics paper. Here's one of those cards that we made, the altered cards. And then on the front, it has another one of her butterfly stamps. And then I just sewed that back side of that Relics paper on with a fancy stitch. More clusters with sari silk and butterflies. More of that shiny gold trim. This is some more original jelly print paper. This is an altered paper clip, and it's holding on this envelope. And this comes from my Boho kit. It's got a couple of Tracie's Flutterby, or no, those are from the Ephemera folder kit. And then I just embossed the butterflies, so I selected those images to emboss, and this one here. Just gives it a little zhuzh. Make sure I put this on the right way. There we go. This is another altered paper clip, and it is holding on this big altered tag. That's from my kit, and I just put some trim on and backed it with some jelly print. Another big collage with sari silk and butterflies. Vellum page, more gilded butterflies. This is some more jelly print, and then there is another one of these patinaed paper clips, and it has a little owl and bead charm on there, and that's holding shut this flip out. There's a pocket in here with an altered tag. And then this just pops back on the edge here. More clusters. That's the end of that signature. Then here is just more of that gold trim, more clusters, more stamping. This is original Gelli print paper and another one of those tags that we made using her Relics paper in that little tuck spot. Some more vellum. Another altered paper clip holding in this big tag. This is another one of those pockets that I made. It's a flip up, like hidden journaling space. And that's using Tracie's Relics paper as well. And these are from her ephemera. And then this is, I think, another graphics fairy tag. And then this is another one of those cards that we altered using the Relics paper. I loved this sheet. It's super gold and shiny. Can you see that? It's so lush. But it also just had these like rugged, rich, ripped edges, and I wanted to keep them. So I just love the way that that turned out. Super rustic. Rustic and lush at the same time. Pretty cool. Some more gold shiny, like Lurex trim. Another big cluster. Here's a pocket with another altered tag in it. This is more of my original Gelli printing. Right here, this is another one of those little stuffed pockets. And it's got some altered tags that I made in there. And some of the little bits of ephemera that come with the ephemera file folder kit. There's one of the little tickets that comes with it. So it's a great little kit. And like I said, you can make the little ephemera folder up with it, which is fun. But you can also use it, cut it apart, and use it in different ways. Center of the last signature, I love these big butterflies. Here I made a couple of pockets, and in those pockets are some of the mini file folders. So there's two little mini file folders, and then there's one of the small ones in there, and just another butterfly. And at the top there's another little charm, little beads on a paper clip. Here is a tri-fold out butterfly hidden journaling thing. Some more stamping. This is parchment paper. Here's the other side of that lovely gold, rustic, shimmery gold paper. It's a book page that I printed on, Gelli printed on. Here's one more altered paper clip, and it is holding on this piece of Flutterby Ephemera to The Comedy of Errors by Shakespeare. One more, another piece of vellum, and then it has another piece of that bracelet, the last piece of that bracelet that I deconstructed, and then one more giant flip that I made with Tracie's paper, and a couple of her butterflies that I gilded the edges of, and then another large tag that I've sewn lines onto. And that flips out. This is some of my peeled paint Gelli print kit, and that's the back of it. Big, lovely peacock there, and some trim, or I mean a cluster, and last trim. There's my maker's mark, and I got this gorgeous Gelli print in the back that's got good, cool texture to it. So that's this one. And all that yumminess, the bright, beautiful colors in there. I just love that. That kept my attention, adding pretty colors to it. I love all the things. I love muted, you know, vintagey, muted, kind of antique-y looking stuff, and I love bright, vivid, colorful stuff, and muted florals and pastels are normally not my thing, but sometimes I love them too. Oh, I forgot to mention this. They all have book corners on as well. So these have little small book corners on, metal book corners on. So there we go, guys. These are my 3 Boho journals. They will be in my shop as soon as this video goes live. So if you're interested, you can go to my Etsy link below, pop over to my shop. Thank you for your support. Thanks for hanging out with me today and just looking at the books in general. I hope you guys are doing well. And I will be back. I'm going to start working on my next of these, like this 3 banger project of Tracie Fox stuff. We're going to start using her Egypt kit, her Egyptian relics kits. And I'm going to try and do some more of that crafting on camera with you guys, just because I like hanging out with you. And I'm hoping that my throat and my allergies will allow me to do so. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or middle of the night, whatever time it is, on whatever side of this fantastic, lovely globe that we all share, that you live on. And until I see you guys next time, stay safe and stay healthy. And I hope you're able to do something fun and crafty that you love. And until then, take care and God bless you guys. Bye-bye.